episode of the Bikini Diaries. So we're at post-show, but I'm still prepping for a show. I just haven't picked the show yet. I am just 4 days out from my competition and feeling awesome. I'm going to be doing much more videos that are geared towards my daily life on how I've come off a show, like what the diet looks like a little bit, what exercises that I'm doing, and just pretty much like the day in the life of Kate McKay, bikini competitor, podcaster, writer, and speaker. So it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I was thinking about it because for a long time, I would say, yeah, I'm like, I lift weights, like I'm a bikini competitor, because people would ask, like, are you a bodybuilder? I'm like, no, I'm not a bodybuilder. And it was like, I swear to God, no, I denied it. I've denied it for 40 years. And the reason why, and I've talked about this before in the videos, but I want to bring it up again because now I laugh about it, but it's like literally like a problem. And what it was that for so many years, there was like, especially I'm sitting on a stability ball, for so many years, there was such a negative thing about it, right? For me, because I grew up and no women lift weights. It was like I started lifting weights in the early 80s because I'm older, and there weren't women in gyms. They weren't in gyms. They were at women's fitness places that were all pink, and they had like the shaky hip thing and aerobics classes, right? Because Jane Fonda started coming in, and so she sort of brought back, you know, skinny, like the leg lifts and all that. But the women, the model of that beauty was very, very thin and tall, and I wasn't either of those. I was muscular, and I was shorter, and I was athletic, you know, like more like that kind of physique. So I just liked the gym. I liked the way it made me feel. And so that's the reason why I just started hanging out in the gym. And it was like my secret place, because people knew, like, okay, you know, like whatever, she lifts weights, she's going someplace. But I didn't have girlfriends there. It wasn't like I had friends there, and it was a very male environment. So I used to always just wear a headset when I was in the gym. And you know, you have the culture of a gym, which is like, you know, hey, what's up? You know, you got that. It was in like, my first gym was in Boston, in Somerville. Like I was with the dudes. And so you're like, yo. So I'm really good at that energy when I have to be, because when you're in a gym, you have to own your space around you. And it taught me a lot about who I am, because I'm never afraid no matter where I am. And I taught that to my kids too. And that's another reason why I brought my kids to Haiti, because you have to know what danger feels like in order to know how you're going to react in danger. And I'm not saying I was ever in danger in the gym. I never was. I was always so safe. Even though I had that yo vibe, I knew I was safe. I knew that if anyone ever came in or anyone ever messed with me in the gym, even though I didn't have deep conversations with these guys, that they would protect me, that they would, like, the guy would be dead, because, you know, you just don't mess with people in the gym, and particularly a woman. So there was that experience, you know, and how cool is that, right? And so anyway, that is the reason why, is because, so there was a negative connotation in regards to like working out. It was just a thing. Like people were like, what are you doing? That's so dumb. And I didn't even perceive of it. I just held it a secret that it was another part of me. And in my 20s, I did do one bodybuilding show, and I was real skinny, and I did good. I don't even remember how. I've done so many shows, I couldn't even tell you how many shows I've done. Like dozens. It's embarrassing. I have no track of them. I just do a show, do a couple shows, and then be like, hey, what's up? Because I've been competing for almost 20 years, and I pretty much competed every year. So it's at least 20. And there's some years I competed 4 or 5 times. So it's weird. I wonder if I could track like all of the shows I did, figure out, because I did really well. I actually got, was a figure pro in the WNBF. Figure, me, 108 pounds, but the sport has changed so much. So anyway, back to the whole bodybuilding thing. So now I'm a bodybuilder. Like, I'm proud to say I'm a bodybuilder. And it took me embracing the fact that I'm freaking unusual as hell. Like, who else at 61 puts on a sparkly suit and competes in a bikini competition. Not very many. There was a few of us at this last show. There were 3 women total in 60 plus. There was a ton in 50 plus, a lot. And so that makes me feel happy that women are out there doing it. And you look around, we're all just weirdos. It's like, who else does this weird sport where we like spray tanned and heels and we're all just jocks. We're all just like athletes that work out in the gym, and we do this thing called bikini competitions or figure competitions or wellness competition, whatever category you're in. Is a few. So anyway, I just wanted to share that because it's a trip, and this post show has been euphoric, to be perfectly honest. Part of it is that I feel so physically good. I've been eating a lot of candy, and I'm surprised I don't feel sick. I bought a lot of Christmas candy, and I didn't like get rid of all of it, like give it all away when I was in Florida. So I'm just eating it, loving it. My body just does good on sugar. I wish it didn't, but it does. But anyway, I'm almost done with it. I'm gonna go give some to the security guard and the concierge. I have a bag for them, a little Christmas gift bag. So anyway, I'm 4 days out. I feel really good. I feel physically great. I feel emotionally great and psychologically great. I feel spiritually really freaking good. Like, I just feel like I miss my parents. Each of them in different ways, because my dad would be freaking proud of me, and my mom would be amused by me and proud of me. But my job for my mom was just to make her laugh, because I was just crazy. I was always making her laugh. That was my role in the family. I was silly. She had 9 kids. She needed some joy, and that was my role in our life, in our relationship. So anyway, and I miss my son Will, obviously, but it's a different kind of feeling with Will. Like, my parents, I long for them, and I'm like, oh, that pull. And Will is just, he's so ingrained in everything I do every single day that I miss his physical presence. But he literally is, when you meet me, you're meeting Will, because I'm so ingrained his essence in who I am as a person. And because that was the only way that I could survive and continue to integrate him with me as powerful stuff. It's good. It's so good. So anyway, today's Christmas. I was by myself, but not really. Like, I talked to friends and I read a bunch. I'm reading some great books, which I'm going to share with y'all so you guys can get a reading list going, because books are the way, not on your phone, but in paper. Books are the way. And I'm working on my book. I just finished rewriting an ebook called Living Sexy Rich, which I'll share with all of you. It's something I wrote a long time ago, but I rewrote it, and so it's actually kind of funny and good. I'm happy with that, so I'll be sharing that soon. And I'm working on finishing up the Agility Factor. So I read a ton, I wrote a little bit, I get out a newsletter email. If you want to get on my list, get on my list. Just email me at kate@kate-mckay.com, or you can go to my website and sign up and get a copy of the Agility Mindset. That's my new book. So on the website's a little segment of it, so you can get a vibe from it. But the Agility Factor is what I'm most passionate about. It's like my seminal work. I feel like I'm Einstein, that I've been my whole life. This is my whole thesis on life, and I think you're gonna really like it. So anyway, that is my blah 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 blah. Then I went for a walk in the woods, and that was friggin' spectacular. I live in an incredible location, and north of Atlanta. It's in Atlanta, but I'm like north a little bit, and 5 miles. I'm like where the river, the Trail of Tears started, when the natives, Indians, got booted from the sacred land that they lived in, and this is the origin of it, around this gorgeous river. So the land feels very holy. And so I jammed through the woods there, talking to some people in the woods, and made some content, and came home, and now I'm in the gym. I'm going to do a workout. I'm going to bring you along with that. I'm going to do a shoulder workout. I'm sore a little bit, but yesterday I did a really good lower body workout, and I know what I have to do to improve. So I'm going to work hard to improve. So my physique is balanced. Like I have a pretty genetically balanced physique. And where I'm lacking is glutes and hamstrings. And I gotta bring my legs up a little bit more. Like my legs used to be rocking like real good because I did so much hiking and I did more like running and plyometrics. And I kind of, since I moved to Florida, I didn't do that because there's no place to hike really, right? And so now that I'm back in hiking land, that I can hit some trails, I'll definitely do more hikes. I think my legs are gonna get better just because of that. But I definitely have to focus very much on growing my glutes, and that's going to take a lot of effort. That's going to take a lot of heavier lifting, which I haven't been doing much of, but I know what I'm in store for. So I'm gonna bring you along with that because I have to do more squats, more deadlifts, more compound movements, definitely more strength, more weight, and then also I'm gonna have to do just more plyometrics, like jumping, sprinting, things with high knees, because that's what gives you a more hamstring and glute development. So I know what I have to do. It's just that to be honest, people laugh, I'm kind of lazy. I have mastery in being a little bit lazy in a good way, right? I mean, I actually do believe now, I say it, that I really do mean it, because I am. I'm not lazy mentally. I'm pretty not lazy there, but I'm physically lazy. I like to lounge. I like to work out hard, and then I'm like, and my mom always said, this is what she said, Katie, when you have a choice of sitting or laying down, always choose to lay down. You know, and this is a woman who had 9 children. So I take this to heart. A funny story, I used to come home from like school or whatever. My mom would be laying on the couch folding laundry. Like, have you ever tried to fold laundry lying down? All right, let's just say she wasn't super detail oriented. How could you with 9 kids? But yeah, so I take that to heart. I really do. And I think part of my health and why I'm so healthy is I know my limit really well. And I always know that I don't want to risk injury. It's another reason why I've never been a big drinker, like people doing so much drugs around me growing up in the 80s, and it just never was my thing. I liked boys. I much prefer to like date boys. That was where I got in most of my trouble. But I didn't really, I never in my life have I been drunk that I didn't remember. Like, I think I would absolutely have a nervous breakdown if that ever happened. And plus, it's like when I'm drinking and then everyone's doing another one, and I'm like, can we have dessert? Like, I'd rather eat ice cream than like drink too much, you know? I'm lucky because I came from a family with a lot of alcohol and a lot of drugs. And I was just like my dad. My dad was pretty moderate. I don't know how he and I survived it, but my dad was a moderate dude. He was my hero as far as like a fitness guru kind of guy. He was nervous, so he needed the gym 65-year Y membership. But he was, what a guy. He was a guy. So yeah, he'd be proud of me. We'd be doing some things together. And I know he'd be lifting the weights with me too, if he was around. But anyway, so I'm delaying because I have to go do a shoulder workout. I'm going to bring you in on a few of the different exercises to show you what I'm going to hit on today. I'm going to do a little bit of bis and tris because I haven't really done much of those. Really, the focus on bikini is focused on building shoulders, glutes, making sure your legs are good. But because I've lifted weights so much with my arms, I really did no arms. I did like 1 bicep exercise a week and no triceps because my triceps are stupidly big. And I think it's because like genetically I have big triceps, but also I think it's because when I was a kid, I was always on my hands and like swinging and things. And so part of it is my upper body's pretty developed because I was a monkey when I was a kid. I was always swinging or climbing or doing cartwheels. So, all right, well, here we go. I'm gonna get my workout going on. So here we go. Thanks for listening. Make sure you subscribe. Do a lot more with the stability ball. Like when I used to own a gym, I would do a lot with my clients on this because I wanted them to have more of a sense of play. And so I would stick them on the ball and make them jump, and then I would talk to them and check in just so they would relax. Because what the science has shown is that this kind of movement absolutely reorganizes your cells and can calm you down. So people with ADHD or agitation, this kind of repetitive jumping motion actually can calm people down. So anyway, a nice wide base here. And so if you have a stability ball at home or you see it at the gym, like what can I do to like use it or warm up. So that's what I'm gonna do here, because there was one here and I was recording some things, and so I was like, let me just do a warm up on here. So nice and easy, jumping up and down, activating that pelvic floor as you're doing that, really important. I'm keeping a wider base. It's more challenging the more narrow base you have. So I have a wide base. So, you know, like a minute like that, just relaxed, really letting the body release, really important. And then I'm gonna do rotations. So thinking about this all the way around, squeeze, all the way around. So you're tucking in your pelvis and then rolling it back. So you get like 3 or 4 or whatever feels good. What I want you to think about when you're doing these, if you find an area that's kind of tight, hang out in that little spot. Because I know like this, my right hip tends to be a little bit more funky. So right there, I can feel a little tightness. So I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna stretch that out there. And don't be surprised if one side feels harder than the other. Very common that, you know, we're not even. So that's much of the work when we're working on the body is balancing it out, trying to find some equilibrium. So circles both way, and then just left to right, just to get those hips side to side. So I'll just shuffle those hips here. So it's like you're doing the bump, right? Keeping this tight, energy out the top of the head. Press that chin in, not here, in. And now front to back. So tuck in the pelvis, push back the pelvis, tuck in, drop, tuck in, and push back. Awesome, good job. And now we're gonna just do some side stretches. So arms come out here to the side, and we're just gonna reach and take a peek under the armpit and stretch it out. You know, if you get like 4, 5, whatever feels good for you. I'm just taking you through this sequence so you can see and feel. And now what we're gonna do now is we're gonna bring the arm across the body and stretch that out. And now let's go to the other side. Stretch it out, feels so good. And release it out, let's go over the top. Stretch. And you're just gonna do what feels good for you. I'm just giving that a little bit of a tug. My shoulders are pretty tight because, well, first when I was doing a lot of pole dancing, when I stopped doing weights as much last year, there's a lot of holds in static pole dancing. It's really bad for the shoulders. Holy crap, like not good. And so that was one of the reasons why I stopped dancing, because I was like, this, I'm gonna hurt. I really actually did hurt my shoulders, and they're still not 100%, so now we're just pushing away. And then release them down. Feels so good. And then this is the one I would usually just test the clients to see how they were in their core stability. But we're in this sit position, and then we just walk down. And then walk up. This is kind of hard because this ball doesn't have enough air in it. And then down, and then up. And then when we go down one more time, do the upper back. Just open up and hang out. This feels so good on the upper chest area, the thoracic spine. This is so good. And now what we're gonna do is just gonna bring the hands up behind the head, and let's just get, 10 crunches, make them small and controlled. This feels kind of good actually. After my hike, and blow out, and we're scooping that core. 6, 7, and one more time, hold, and then let's pulse it. 2, 3, and 4, and release. Stretch it out, big circle, and then we're gonna roll it up. There. So that is a warm-up you can do with a stability ball. I also brought it in a little bit so I warm my shoulders up so I can do some shoulder presses. And I'm gonna do those next. I am taking this week post-show a little bit of chill. I'm not because I just need to give my body a rest because I put it through so much. I still will lift, and but not too crazy. So I have a variety of weights here. What I'm going to start with, because we just did a little bit of warm up, is I'm going to do single arm and shoulder presses. I'm going to do them sitting on the stability ball here, and I'm just using a lighter weight, and even this feels like a lot for me today, which is bad. That still shows you how tired I am. It's just a 10. I was doing up to like 25 pounds. So you can see I always keep a pretty loose grip, and I'm just going to get just 10 of these on each side. This actually feels really good. And I'm doing them singly because I'm just wanting to make sure that I have good range of motion. And sometimes if you do things singularly, you can see where you have a break and you're not as even. And it also demands a different level of something called proprioception, which is the mind-body connection. Most people aren't even on left or right, and I think a lot of bodybuilders work a lot on symmetry, so we're going to be really careful about making sure we're equal on both sides. Even though I'm right-handed, I think I'm pretty equally strong on both sides. So that's 6, 7. It feels good, actually. So yeah, so that's just a single press. And I'm, again, I know this looks weird that I keep this, but in general, I usually keep a pretty loose grip, because what happens is a lot of times people, when they first start lifting weights, are squeezed away too hard, and all the tension goes here, right? So you're not going to be able to work the muscle because all the energy dies wherever the grip is too hard. So they'll either start having wrist problems or hand cramps, or there are other things, because you have to put your mind. I'm working right here on my deltoid, so I want to feel like the weight is what is free to work in that area. It's called proprioception, mind-body connection. It's really important. It's so important. It's everything in weight training, everything. And people in general who lift weights, you gotta have good proprioception. So I'm grabbing the 8s, and I'm going to do lateral raises. So I'm just going to demonstrate the exercises that I'm going to do. I'll probably go up in weight after I just show you what I'm doing. And then I'll also going to show you a little bit of my bis and tris, what I'll do here. So these are just lateral raises. So you want to imagine that you're leading from the elbow. Arnold Schwarzenegger says it's like you're pouring a pitcher of lemonade. These I feel. And it's also more demanding because I'm sitting and I'm not being able to cheat, but I get these up using momentum, really having to work those side muscles. And taking it slow all the way down, nice and slow. So you can see, just from a couple sets, that one of them was just the overall deltoid, and then those laterals are working more here. It really, once you lift weights a lot, and this is obviously many of you already do, your body becomes more and more responsive, especially as you get better at connecting the mind and the body. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do bent over rear delts. So the shoulder is so important that you have 3 different areas that need to work. So the presses work overall size, and then you have the laterals which shapes it this way. And then you can do any kind of front raises, which works this muscle, because you want to balance it. But there's one muscle that people rarely hit, and that's the rear deltoid. And that's what I'm going to show you right here. So just so you can see what that muscle looks like, it's this guy that sticks out right there. And if you don't have it, your shoulder isn't as supported. And a lot of people are like, why would we make that? Because it balances you. Again, this is all about freaking symmetry and also structure support. So if I just had like a huge front deltoid and then nothing here, well, clearly my shoulders are going to be more hunched over. What's also really great about having this strong is it forces you to have better posture. I think people think that I'm taller than I am because I'm pretty straight. My posture's good because I use weight training as a way to stretch too and keep me on alignment. You guys, everything that I'm doing right now, my core is active because I'm sitting on a ball. And I just was aware of that because it's moving, so I'm like aware of it, and so it's kind of cool. I haven't done really well much stuff anymore, so this is kind of cool. I'm doing this today. So I'm just going to scooch out a little bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to press your belly as best as you can on your thighs. You're going to keep your feet out just a little bit. and then you're just gonna raise the weight in this shape. So I'll just show you here. And then I'm going to blow it out. Breathing in and then blowing out as you come up. That's 5. I'm going to 5 more. And I'm controlling. You notice I'm coming up and then controlling that down phase. One more time. And down, nice and slow. And that is the rear down. So those are 3 exercises right there that I wanted to show you. And now I'm just going to show you something pretty cool. There's a couple different ways to do bicep curls on a stability ball. One of them is very actually interesting because science has shown that if you do biceps in this angle, that it much more activates the shape of the muscle, and that's an inclined bicep curl. So if you're sitting on a stability ball, and I'm just going to grab the weights, and you want to be closer to the edge of it, here's just a couple ways you could do it. Facing out here with the palms facing out, and then just coming up and keeping that chest lifted, and then just driving them up and down, just your standard bicep curl. So most important thing, don't roll those wrists, keep your wrists pretty straight. And again, I'm not over gripping. I'm pressing my elbows into my sides, and I'm coming up and controlling the weight on the way down. Blow up, come up, controlling the weight. And again, I'm picturing the bicep and working that all the way up. So that's a standard bicep curl. You can also do them as hammer curls this way. That's a hammer curl. I never really like these that much, but some people love them. And then the last one is what I was just mentioning to you, which is doing it as an angle. And this guy that I listen to, Dr. Mike, he's a PhD guy in exercise science and kinesiology. And so he's into a lot of the science. A lot of the bodybuilders, they know all these things because we're such nerds. So you can see on an angle like this, you can see I'm like the biceps this way. So I'm going to bring it up this way. And what the science has shown is that if you're getting past just the 180 degree, that 210 degree on the other side of that is where you really get some hypertrophy being muscle growth. So these are incline bicep curls. And I'm just making 4 more of those. And then I'm going to show you a couple tricep exercises. And then I'm going to do this all the way through with some heavier weights. All right, right on. So cool. So now we're going to do our triceps. These are the things I never have to work because I'm a huge guy. So I'm going to come down to the stability ball. You can do it on a bench. And so I'm going to bring the weight up over my head. And all I'm going to do is bend at the elbow. So you can see this here. And then you're going to drive it up. So you can see the only thing that's really hinging is the elbow. I'm not coming out from my shoulders. I'm not going this way. I'm keeping it as straight as possible. And then just dropping those to my head. So you can do these with 1 bar straight across. They're actually called skull crushers. Because, you can crush your skull, you drop the bar. But the bottom line is the training is so safe. I've never gotten hurt in a gym aside when I've done 2 things too stupid because I was too heavy and I was in some good form. And I'm healthy for those. Those are old injuries. And so these are tricep extensions up overhead. You can also bring them weights over here a little bit more, bring them for a little bit more of a stretch. But these feel good. My core triceps, I never work them, so they feel very weak. There's 2 more of those. 2, 1 more time. And you can imagine I'm still working that core as I'm doing all this, right? Because I'm still on that low aired stability ball. All right, the last exercise for tricep extensions, what you do is you'll just come up with 1 knee on the stability ball, or you can do it on a bench. And so 1 knee here, 1 knee here, flat back, booty out. You're just going to drive that into full extension. And I'm keeping that head parallel with the back, big squeeze. Oh my gosh, I haven't done these in so long. Boom. Boom. 2 more. Boom. Now I know why they're so big. Because I like it. I like tricep workout. It feels good. It's definitely genetics out. There's certain things you're just gonna have easier time building. Me, glutes is not it, but my triceps are. Oh, this actually like literally hurts. And that's 4. I'm literally gonna have sore triceps tomorrow, you guys. I'm embarrassed with myself. 6, 7. I'm gonna get 2 more. Bang, 1 more. Bang. Now you guys can see, again, the hinges happen only at the elbow. Elbows pressed into the side, and I'm kicking it back. All right. Look at that. Look at those triceps. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah. So post-show, I still got the pump going on, so I feel really good about it. I still even have my abs a little bit, and literally it's shocking if you could imagine how much sugar I have, how much candy. But I'm eating good. I'm still eating my protein. I'm not like binging out super bad. I'm not really one to like binge. If I had ice cream and it was in my fridge, I'd eat it all. Not sure. Tortilla chips, those 2. I just like those 2 things. So I'm just going to show you just a little bit more. I do once again my posing because I'm also just practicing that. I need a shower. I've been practicing that too. And I really feel that made the difference in why I actually did so well in my show. Because I had a friggin' routine that I practiced. I wasn't flaking out and just thinking, oh, I could go on stage. No, I did it right, and I'm proud of myself. Because if you have ADHD, doing things the same way or the structured way is very, 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 very difficult. I've had a lifetime of that. And I just made a commitment to stop being a flake and commit to my best. Alright, so here we go. Here's my posing. Ready? So, and imagine I got my heels on. So I'm going to come back and then come over. And the weight comes into this leg and the hip twists. And you suck at your belly and you look relaxed. I'm relaxed. And then we switch to this position. And then we go all the way around. Hi. I'm tired, that's why I'm so punchy. And then we're here, and then we go there, and there, and there. And then we say, thank you. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. If you like to have more exercise videos, please let me know. I'm going to continue to do them, but if there's certain body parts that you want more of, let me go. I'm here for you. I'm so grateful that you joined me. I'm going to go eat turkey and sweet potatoes and vegetables and then some desserts because I can't. All right, thank you. I'll see you soon. And remember, you're more powerful than you think, and the best is yet to come. Bye.